Let me begin. I want to thank you there's hundreds of us, 600 people signed up for this, and many people will show up when they do. There are a couple hundred of us already, so keep coming, everybody. My name is Lynne Twist. Many of you know that, and some of you do not. And I'm a co-founder of something called the Pachamama Alliance. Pachamama means Mother Earth, or the earth, the sky, the universe, and all time. And it's an alliance between the indigenous people of the sacred headwaters of the Amazon rainforest and conscious, committed people like all of you for the sustainability of life itself. This is part of the Resilience and Possibility series, Resilience and Possibility in These Times, that has been put on by the Pachamama Alliance for many, many, many Mondays. And we've had some extraordinary speakers, some extraordinary conversations over these months of the pandemic that have supported people in both resilience and possibility in uncertain, unprecedented, really epic times that we're living in. It supports us in staying connected to one another, keeping clear about our own vision for the future, and particularly the spirit of life as we're challenged by these times we're living in. So today we have a really special session. It will be 90 minutes rather than 60. So if you budgeted 60, do something to cancel whatever's after this and stay on. I promise it'll be worth it. This is going to be experiential. It's going to be very, very special. It's going to be, actually something you will never, ever, ever forget, and will serve you for the rest of your life. I promise that. I will tell you who and what it is, and I think you know, many of you are followers of Jakob and Susanna. But before I introduce them, which I will do, and share a little bit about our overview, I want to ask us all to arrive completely by meditating together, closing our eyes together, breathing together, being in oneness together as we enter into this sacred 90-minute session with Jakob and Susanna and the Pachamama Alliance. So if you're not driving a car, which I hope none of you are, because you're supposed to be staying home, please close your eyes. And as we breathe together, recognize the power of opening sacred space. Something we've learned from our indigenous partners, our shamans and elders that we work with, including those that are with us today, how precious it is to drop into the sweet territory of the breath. The give and take in equal measure. The in and out that is the great balance of life. The inhale and the exhale that is natural, that takes no effort, that is always there, waiting for your intention, your attention, and you'll find there no tension. And as we breathe together, along with all forms of life and the earth herself, I'll read something from a friend and colleague, Michael Lerner. Resilience is not something we need to teach ourselves. Resilience flows directly from the deepest human instincts of loving and caring. We seek to survive ourselves in a way that we help all those we love and care for survive and in fact, flourish. We often care more about others than we do about our own survival. As these constant perfect storms, fires in the Mediterranean, fires in the Amazon, fires in California, hurricanes off the coast of the United States, earthquakes, tsunamis, huge climactic events, as well as political upheaval, as well as reminders of how cruel colonialism has been to so many members of the human family. As the economy breaks down, as education becomes more and more stressed, the future shocks become ever more intense and frequent. And we all over the world face the existential question of what they and those they love will need to survive. We all have irreducible needs: air, warmth, water, food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, safety, but most of all, each other, community, a shared story about ourselves, a sense of hope and possibility, that feeling of meaning in our lives. This virus cannot be contained. Many of us will be affected by it directly, and all of us are now, but is far from the greatest challenge we face in the years and decades ahead. So courage, hope, possibility, and spiritual depth are clearly the way through. So as we hold each other in sacred communion, in sacred community, in sacred love, caring, depth, soul, and spiritual energy, we will be ever more resilient and find ever more possibility in these epic and challenging times. Let's breathe together for 10 breaths, please. Now, one deep breath together, and exhale with care, courage, commitment, and love, and open your eyes and smile. And would everybody just put their hand up towards the little camera so that we can touch each other, give each other a touch, a high five, a virtual hug. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So our purpose today is the most beautiful purpose I think we've created for any of these so far, to create an embodied experience for all of us of being part of the web of life, connecting the inner world with the outer world and the evolutionary unfolding of life in these times of uncertainty. Let me say that again. To create an embodied experience for all of us of being part of the web of life, connecting the inner world with the outer world and the evolutionary unfolding of life in these times of uncertainty. And how are we going to do that? We're going to spend the next 90 precious minutes with two shamans, two teachers, two people who are remarkable in all ways, Yaakov and Susanna Darling. And these two remarkable people, since 1989, have been traveling the world, encouraging people like you and me to move beyond our held patterns of self-limiting expectations and discover in ourselves the gift of movement. And they've done it all over this world with healers and shamans from the Amazon to the Arctic Circle, including an 18-year apprenticeship with Gabrielle Roth, one of the great teachers of embodied movement who's ever really lived. And they have something called movement medicine. They've written books, they have CDs, they're very, very prolific. Susanna Darling Khan is the co-director of the School of Movement Medicine, along with her beautiful husband, Yaakov Darling Khan. And they're co-authors of something called Movement Medicine. She is definitely a visionary, weaving a scientific, psychotherapeutic, and systemic ecological paradigms together with the creative, life-affirming power of dance itself. She's a lifelong student. She's part of the King's Fund to bring movement medicine into the leadership awareness of some of the National Health Service's most senior women leaders in the UK, as well as being a movement medicine woman. She has made 10 CDs, and she brings this sense of beauty, light, glory, essence, and profound listening to everything she does. And she also is fortunate enough to be married to Yakov Darling Khan, who's a respected shaman. He's actually a very, very respected, globally respected, technically he is a shaman, named as such by shamans. That's how you become one, by indigenous elders. And he's the author of the best-selling Jaguar in the Body, Butterfly in the Heart, the real-life initiation of an everyday shaman. Fantastic book. I've endorsed it. I've read it. I love it. He shared the stage with some of the great spiritual teachers of our time. And his message of shamanism, that is a shift from society's focus on acquisition to reciprocity, is the key to restoring our universal connection and solving our interpersonal and world issues in the process. He began at age 7, so he's been doing this for a while. He felt a down-to-earth connection as a child, and then he was struck by lightning. He may say something about that on a golf course, which proved to be the gift of his lifetime that awakened him to his work. He and Susanna have been married for 32 years. They do extraordinary work together. Please, after experiencing them, if you didn't know them before, go to their website, sign up for absolutely everything they do, read everything they've written, and become their followers. That's my recommendation. Okay, but so you get a 90-minute deep dive hors d'oeuvre into who they are and what they do. One of the most important things about them, I think, is that they're Pacha people. And their partnership with the Pachamama Alliance, with Manari Ushiwa, with the Achwar, with everybody we work with David Tucker, our beloved in-house shaman, who's challenged right now with his own healing. These two people have been a huge part of the development of the inner soul of the Pachamama Alliance. So it's my great privilege to turn over to them, you, and to turn you over to them, Yakov and Susanna Darling, and they'll do some teaching. Then we'll do a whole process, a whole drumming experience, and then you'll have a chance to interact with them. So here we go. You are blessed to be on this session, and I turned it over to these remarkable two special angels in our world. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not
Lynne.
sure we'll ever recover from that introduction.
Oh, Lynne, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so touched.
Yeah.
Yeah, what beautiful words.
It's such a privilege for us to be here with you, to be together, to be here with you this evening. We've benefited a lot from these evenings that the Pachamama Alliance, or these sessions that the Pachamama Alliance has been putting on. The last one was extraordinary with Indigenous women. There's been extraordinary sharings about the uprising awareness of systemic racism and the challenge that we all have as a species, us as white people, all of us together, to acknowledge so much of what Lynne, you read to us and invoked at the beginning of this session. And thank you very much. It's a very deep prayer. I really felt very much in my body hearing your words, this invocation of how important it is for us as human beings, whatever our condition right now. I know that for me, for us, over these months, our own practice has been more and more important. The practice of coming into the body every day to remember our physical connection to Pachamama, to the ground, to the earth. And yeah, I'm just very happy to be with you here, with you this evening, today, to share with you a journey which is the purpose of this journey, as Lynne said, is to help us all go a little bit deeper into our own experience of being connected through the life inside us to the life between us to the life around us. And we're going to take you on a journey. We'll share a little bit more about that in a moment. Susanna.
Yeah, I just want to say how meaningful it is to me, to us, to be here on these, particularly on these Monday night Pachamama series has been so profound for us, and I've felt so supported by Mario Trigueros and all the people that have spoken, and Rev D and Lynne, yourself, and the different panelists, including the women 2 weeks ago. Really quite an extraordinary offering you're making. And I'm really glad that they're recorded so that all of us can dive in and partake of those again. So I feel very honored to be part of this. And the thing that I'm with, after you read that from Michael Lerner, yeah, thank you, Lynne, was the meeting, in this meeting of the unknown, as systems break down and fires break out and pandemics rage and roar, and we're all of us are facing the unknown on a whole new level. I know my system, my own body, heart, mind, has been often thrown into waves of ungroundedness, kind of like an inner vibration that means that I become not very effective at doing something useful or showing up meaningfully or even connecting with myself or you or others in the world. And what we've discovered over and over again, as you said, is our practice has become really even more important than normal. That means our meditation practice and our movement meditation practice. And two things very specifically that we'll be inviting you to do yourself tonight when we move into the more experiential part. And one of them is simply to name the condition we find ourselves in. Not the condition we think we should be in spiritually, but how we actually are feeling. And sometimes when we've been aware of feeling, for example, fear, simple fear
Of the unknown.
of the unknown and what's going to happen, and that kind of ungrounded feeling of that fear, and feeling that the whole web of human consciousness is vibrating sometimes with that fear. That's what it feels like, inside and outside. Simply naming that has had the most remarkable effect. I can feel it right now in myself too, of helping us come back into our bodies. And that's the other resource that has been so profound, is coming back into gentleness with our bodies, like actually touch. I invite you to do that right now, to take your body in your arms and take a few breaths, honoring this land of your body, which is part of the land of the earth that you live in. It's your terroir, your land. And as you breathe within the cherishing embrace of your own arms, if that feels right to you, allowing your heart to be whatever it is right now, and aware of the hundreds of people on this call right now, and just imagining us all in a big circle shoulder to shoulder. Acknowledging again that you're not alone. And the other thing, which we'll come to soon, but I'm not going to rush us out of this right now, is dance and rhythm and the vibration of rhythm through the body has helped us enormously. So we're coming there.
Yeah, and thank you, Susanna. It's good, isn't it? Just, here I am, here I am. This body is held by gravity, which is a gift of the earth. Lynne, you mentioned that in my early life I was struck by lightning on a golf course. The stories, whatever our experience in life, that was an extreme one, but whatever our experience, the stories that we make from our experience, we have creative license with that, the meaning that we give. And for me, that really early meeting with my own mortality just gave me a sense of just how precious this life is. We don't know how long we have. We're all fragile, and we're all extremely strong and resilient. But life is fragile and strong. There's this balance that we are working with all the time of softness, being, letting ourselves receive life, and at the same time standing up strong and taking action in the direction of what matters to us, and then returning to softness and being. So tonight we're going to invite you to go on this journey through what we call the 5 dimensions of relationship. And those dimensions, very simply, are: number 1, our relationship with ourselves; number 2, all of our one-to-one relationships; number 3, our relationship with the community or the web of life, the human community, but also the non-human community of life on this earth. The 4th dimension is the imaginal realm. It's to do with our ancestors, our descendants, our spirits, our guides, whether we know them or not, whether we sense them or not. But our dreams, that story that we tell, the meaning we make from our experience, individually, collectively, how much we allow ourselves to have a dream like the Pachamama Alliance does, to create this human presence that is on this earth, that is socially just, that is sustainable, that is fulfilling spiritually for all of us. That's a big dream. It's to dare to have that dream. This belongs in that 4th dimension, what we dream. And the 5th dimension of relationship, as we tell in the story of movement medicine, is our relationship with the source of life itself, with the creator, with the mystery, with, for me, the deepest reality that I have yet experienced, which is that if I ask any question for long enough, eventually I will arrive at, I don't know. I don't know. There is mystery. This life is a mystery. The gift, what we're here for, how we came to be here, what we might create out of this, you might call it a phoenix time, when things return to ashes, where dreams, stories, patterns that haven't worked for us how we are with ourselves, how we are in our one-to-one relationships, where we've not been very skilled, where we haven't really taken care of one another, because so often it's because we're not in good relationship with ourselves. Susanna, I know you want to share something about interoception as well, and how that relates to the importance of how we come into a better relationship with ourselves.
So there is a word which you may or may not be familiar with. It's not yet become completely normalized within English. And the word is interoception. 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 And it means perception of your physical interior from the skin inwards. And your cognition or your awareness of the textures as they change of your physicality, your muscles, your organs, your bones, the interior. And in my practice of the last 30 years of teaching movement as medicine and teaching spiritual practice through the body and supporting people to live fuller, more meaningful, more engaged, more present, more connected lives, I think it's this, no, I don't think, it's definitely, you too, the single biggest step or gift or practice that we've seen make the biggest changes in people's empowerment and presence and our own. And so this comes from neuroscience, the word interoception, and it's really being backed up by all the studies, or many of the studies in embodied cognition. And apparently, this is the thing I read about it initially, which really got my interest going, was that apparently the stronger our interoception, our awareness of our physical bodies and their sensations as it changes, as they change moment to moment, has a very strong connection with our emotional intelligence about ourselves and with our capacity for empathy with other people and other beings. When we're at home in our sensate bodies, we are able to vibrate or co-resonate compassionately or empathically with others, and that includes the web of life. And for those of us, which is probably all of us, who have to some degree or another had to numb off from our sensitivity and therefore from our empathy, our capacity for compassion, in order to survive, I mean, visceral compassion, which is different from a mental, cognitive choice for compassion, which is also very, very important and very valuable. But that sort of physical resonance gets lost or gets dialed down when we have to survive traumatic experiences by numbing ourselves or anesthetizing ourselves. And it's a really delicate and beautiful and long-term process, this coming back to life, this coming back to interior life, which helps us then play a full role in the exterior life of the world that comes from this deep inner resonance. So it's important as we go on, just take a breath. Take a moment to feel your body. Again, and your interoception and whatever you're aware of right now, however apparently big or small or mild or strong that is. Hands and feet are a good place to start. movement helps. Go gently with this and respect the steps that your body's able to take, your being's able to take in this journey with us, and over the future path if you choose to continue to work with Interreception. I'll name a couple of books later on in case you want some support and resource with that.
So thank you, Susanna. Thank you. So the really good news about Interreception and what Susanna was talking about as response to challenge or trauma in our lives or in our ancestors' lives, we become less aware of our bodies. It's as if some parts of our bodies belong to the past. And so transformation individually and systemically has to include the body, the body's knowledge, the body's wisdom, the body's experience, and not just our body, but what we have inherited in our physical bodies from our people and their experience. And I want you to know that we are capable. We know through our own experience very much, and also through being with people in very different situations in different parts of the world, that our human capacity to be in that level of relationship with ourselves and with our bodies, step by step, it enables us to be so much more empathic with one another. Far from it being selfish to have my attention within my body, it's actually the ground of my capacity to accurately experience you. And our own relationship became so much deeper through the practice of embodiment. So we're going to take a journey, as I said, through this coming in, and then we're going to expand through these 5 dimensions. But please don't go anywhere. This, for people who've grown up in the industrial world, shamanic practice is about being here, rooted, grounded like the tree of life, good roots, fluid, strong trunk, branches, imagination open, but not to go, but to stay here, to be with your embodied imagination, your embodied heart, as we then, from embracing where we are with ourselves, as we expand then to include others. So as we're moving, as we're drumming, we're going to invite you to turn your attention from your body towards other people in your life who you love and care for, to move a little bit, to breathe a little bit with them in your heart, to offer that heartbeat, that breath, movement, if it's good for you to move, to them. And we'll do the same, expanding then into our awareness of what's going on in the world by connecting with this web of people that has this shared intention here now on this call. And those of you who may watch this later, by connecting with our shared intention to embrace in our presence, our awareness of what's going on in the community, in the wider web of life, to pray for that. And by pray, Arkan Lushwala, who's another really good, strong friend of the Pachamama Alliance, an extraordinary medicine man, he talks about prayer meaning to be in direct relationship with, embodied, present relationship with, to call the spirit of life, to call the spirit of the earth, of the sun, of the stars, of our ancestors, of our descendants, to call all our guidance, all the lineages that we are connected to, and ask them to be present, to help us, to guide us a little deeper on our way, to take another step, to really invoke, call into our beings more resilience, and more possibility. And then at the end, we'll take some time to rest into that most, in a way, intimate or private of relationships, which is that relationship with creation itself, with the mystery, to be with that, whatever name you have for it, God, Goddess, the Buddha, any name you have for it, all good, all welcome. But to be in relationship, just to be with this mystery and to take refuge in that experience. So we're going to...
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're going to just shift the view and move our chairs to one side. And we're going to invite you, if you wish to, if you can, to come to your feet, but you can also do this sitting down. And this is not about what you look like or doing a good dance, nothing to do with that. If you're shy, please do feel free to turn off your camera so you can be private, if that helps you feel more safe. Do check around you, make sure there's nothing for you to trip up over, and please now make this total commitment now to really go at your own pace, not to rush, not to push, but simply to go at your own pace. Yes, Susanna.
And keep listening to your body. It's really good to move, but not to force or push your body. Listen to your body, listen to your interoception, and let your being move at the pace that feels right for you. And I want to second what Jakob said. Do just check the area. Check the area around where you're dancing, so you make sure there's no trip hazards on the floor, so that you can let go in whatever space you have.
Yeah. So we're going to play the drums, and the drums are the original soundtrack of life, the heartbeat, the rhythm, the universal language of life. Yeah, maybe bring them closer, sweetheart, because we need to be stepped back to be visible. There you go,
Yes.
Thank you. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
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 So, the drums are calling, and they're calling to the unbroken intelligence of life that is in you, that is the beat, the movement of your own heart.
And as you hear the drums, letting your whole body begin to move without pushing, without holding back.
As you come to your feet, or even if you're sitting because you need to, letting the weight of your body drop down with gravity, so you allow this gift of the spirit of this earth, of Pachamama, that says, yes, go on, give me your weight, the weight of your body, the weight of your feelings, the weight of your thoughts, coming into presence with where you are, not trying to be somewhere else, not trying to have a deep experience.
Every now and again, as you're moving, let your movement support you to feel your interoception, to connect a little bit more with the sensation of inhabiting your moving body. Keep releasing your breath. As you move, every now and again, acknowledging by saying a word or two, whatever feeling on the emotional level you recognize, moving through you. Honoring, accepting, acknowledging the spectrum of your heart as you move.
Drums calling to that unbroken intelligence of life that is movement, that is breath, that is rhythm. Don't worry at all about what it looks like. Simply allowing the drum, the rhythm, to speak to that which is life, that which is movement inside you. Your backbone, your hips and pelvis, your rib cage, your legs and knees, lower legs, feet, your shoulders, the tops of your arms, your elbows and hands and wrists and fingers. Welcoming this body, thanking this body, really taking the time to receive how the body moves, how the life that lives the body moves. Good. Letting the head rest on the shoulders, the jaw a little more relaxed, finding the breath that helps you to be present, to allow life to move through you. Beautiful. Yes. Simply saying yes to whatever movement there is, even if it's simply the movement of your heart and life inside the body. as you thank the body, calling yourself the essence, who you are.
On the wings of your breath, calling the essence of yourself here into and through your dance, calling yourself home into yourself, into your heart,
Pachamamita,
into your body,
Pachamamita,
into your dance.
Pachamamita,
Every now and again, naming those feelings out loud or singing them.
Imagine you could call the one you are, the part of you that is only you, the essence, the soul, the core, the truth of who you are. Simply allowing your awareness of this to be present in the body. And if you will, calling the warm embrace of this earth, this Pachamama under our feet, to hold us right now as we are, to teach us a little more kindness for who we are, a little more tolerance for the diversity within us, that which is known and that which is unknown to us. Kindness. Beautiful. Let the body move. Let life inside you find the shape of this. Here I am, as I am, aware of all these brothers and sisters around this planet, joined in this invocation, kindness, acceptance, and the strength that is within you to be who you are in this world, who you came here to be, from within you, from within your own backbone, inside your hips, inside your beating heart, inside the waters of your body, the breath, the warmth of the sun that shines inside you, turning our attention now from self to expand our awareness now, to include in our presence those people we love and care for. Calling them into awareness one by one, breathing for them, being with them, including them in this sense of your own presence, praying that they are well, that they have what they need, that they are safe.
On the wings of your breath, with your dance, sending your prayers one by one to those individuals you are connected with, sending your love.
If they are unwell, praying for their healing. If you will, feeling your love for those people in your life, breathing with them, moving for them. Here I am with you. Beautiful. Yes. Sending those roots deep down into the ground to give you strength and stability. Breathing. Sending those roots right down so that your heart has holding, is held, imagining those branches of the tree of life inside you, reaching up into the sky, connecting you with the beautiful light and heat of the sun, the moon, the stars, the wide open space of the sky, the possibility. As we expand now our awareness, being in your rhythm, in your body, in your roots, in yourself, expanding now to be aware of the community of light. First of all, this community right here, all of us, maybe turning towards the screen, feeling our collective intention to send up, to send out through the roots, trunk and branches of the tree of life, a prayer for life. Here we are together, shared intention to be together, to make a difference. There is strength inside us, and we are stronger together. Turning your attention now through your movement, the community of life, whatever you are aware of that you wish to embrace, to pray for. The human world, animal, plant, mineral, the community, the web of life, together, in this rhythm, together, calling to the spirit of the dance to strengthen our resilience, to stand up together, to stand up for life in the way that each one of us is called to.
Dancing your thread in the great tapestry of the web of life, honoring the thread that you are as part of this great, mysterious, evolving mystery of life on earth. Empowering your thread and empowering the web with the energy of your dance and your love.
And let's call now at our backs those ancestors who love and support us, those who successfully passed on life, the strength of their experience, the dignity of their experience, their suffering and their joys. At our backs, ancestors. Calling them with awareness into our embrace, moving, breathing, deep roots, strong branches, space for the heart. If you feel to, maybe you turn and bow to your ancestors, to thank them for passing life on to you. If you will, inviting them to strengthen your presence. Calling all that guides you, all that supports you, all that you dream, the dreams that you came to this earth to share, to be part of. Here we are, our hearts beating, in the challenge of these times, calling forth the spirit of resilience, the spirit of possibility, daring to dream that we can, that we will evolve together, that we will learn that we will find the dignity that we all long for, that we can pass on to those future generations, and from where we are now, rooted here, present, calling that awareness of those future generations standing or sitting, moving at the center of your own circle, your own roots going deep down, our roots connected. We all stand on the same earth, our branches connected, our hearts connected. And as the drums slow down, turning our attention to that relationship with the great mystery, with the Creator. Not necessarily your belief, but your experience right now in your body, in your heart. Letting your heart, your body, your consciousness be with the Great Spirit in your body, here, now, breathing, praying, being in relationship with. Resting, digesting, letting the medicine of this moment bring nourishment, healing, strength, resilience, and possibility wherever it is needed within you. Receiving, giving thanks.
In this moment, connected to this vast energy of Creator, asking for what you need, receiving on the wings of your breath this medicine, this energy, this color of light, and giving thanks, if you will, for that. You might use your hands to guide that energy home, to land within your own system where it can support the life in you. That of God, Great Spirit in you. The love and the strength in you.
With each breath, letting this sink into your bones, into your cells, into your being.
Sacred balm, sinking deep into where it's needed right now.
Feeling your connection through the life inside you to the life around us, between us. And gently bringing this to stillness.
Aware of the trillions of cells inside you and the micro vibration of that breath. And simultaneously aware of yourself as one cell in the great organism of life on earth, breathing. The inner and the outer universe connected on the wings of your breath.
Thank you. Beautiful. How rich and deep. How special.
So just making sure that you're back in the room, letting yourself simply be here bringing your attention back to the screen. Thank you very much for your attention, for taking this journey with us. We have the possibility of some sharing time now. If you have reflections you want to offer of your experience, there's many of us, so they should probably be relatively quite short. Or if you have questions, then please feel free.
I'll just begin by thanking you for that that prayer, that beautiful, long, exquisite prayer, and its embodied power. Just in myself, dancing around my office here on the third floor of my house. How it's not something I do that often, or ever maybe. I got some sage and was dancing around the smoke. And the sounds of your voices and the drum and rattle took me right back to the rainforest for those of us who've been there, and maybe gave you who haven't been there a taste of that wonderful world that we're all connected to. So I'm giving you all time to think a little bit about how you'd like to share your experience, express your experience, ask a question, interact with these two extraordinary people who have enormous wisdom. If you're willing to consider sharing something in the chat, we welcome that. We'll open up the chat now. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more about how this all came to be in the lives of these two very special beings, they're open to answering questions. If you have something you're working through that they can be helpful with, I think they'd be honored to speak with you. So how you can do this is by putting something in the chat that you'd like to ask, or to raise your hand. And I think many of you know how to do this, but you click on the bottom of the screen on the little participants icon, and then it gives you the opportunity to raise your hand. And I see Cherie and Tina have figured that out as our first two. And the rest of you, please don't hesitate to put something in the chat. I have some attention on some of the people. Lynne is one of them, who's one of our most precious leaders, who's evacuated from the fires. I just am thinking about what a blessing it is to have this kind of a holy moment for people who in this place. So let me just ask away, raise your little blue hand. If you can't figure out how to do that, put something in the chat and we'll get to you. So let's start with Cherie. And would you open her line, please, Josh? And then you have to unmute yourself, Cherie, also. There you go. Go ahead.
I need to share with you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Can you hear? Okay. I needed to share a vision that I had of people in a big circle, shoulders, just like Lynne in your introduction. I've had that vision, and it was so many people I couldn't even count them around a sacred fire in the evening in a clearing in the forest. We were bare shoulder to bare shoulder. Our faces were glowing and the light was shining through us. And it was common unity. I needed to share that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Cherie. And now to Tina Neal. Your turn.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I certainly didn't expect that. It was just amazing. I've never felt so free and so connected and so with what you were doing. It was just, I can't even put words on it. It was absolutely beautiful. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you
Beautiful.
too.
Where are you speaking to us from? Where are you in the world right now?
Tina, can you unmute yourself again so that you can answer that question? Tina Neal, where are you? And Josh, can you unmute for a moment? Where are you, Tina?
No, I'm muting. Ah, yes, I'm unmuted again. Yes, I'm here. I'm actually in West Sussex on the coast in UK. I'm actually in Bognor Regis, 2 minutes from the sea.
Oh,
Fabulous.
beautiful. Thank you. That's beautiful.
Thank you, Tina. Let's go on to Yasmine Goodman. Yasmine. So we wait for you to unmute yourself, and then you have a little.
It's so beautiful to be with the two of you. It brings back so many beautiful memories of dancing with you in the rainforest a couple of years ago. And Lynne, I really appreciate the context that you created, a new context for me to really allow their Yaakov and Susanna's deep, rich understanding of the sacred medicine and to give it all to us as a prayer. I never thought of it as a prayer. And I don't know why that just moves me in a new way to hold it as a prayer. Maybe it's because of these times, to hold it as a prayer for all of us and all of our, you know, as the Indigenous people would say, all of our relations. So I really thank you for that. And it's the perfect preparation. In 2 hours, I'm going to step onto a virtual dance floor with the students at Temple to begin having them explore their inner selves through movement. And so what a great way to get grounded in the possibility of movement. Thank you.
Oh, Yasmine, it's so beautiful to see you and to hear you. Thank you for your words and your heart, and yeah, passing the baton to you. Take it on.
Ripple it out there.
Beautiful. That's amazing.
Let it ripple.
And with some of your music, Susanna, your beautiful, beautiful recordings.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. Thank you.
You should all look them up. Yeah.
Thank you, Yasmine. Let's go on to Robin Wilson. Robin, unmute yourself, and we would love to hear what you want to say. Okay. We've unmuted you. Now you unmute yourself and you can speak. If you're speaking, we can't hear you quite yet. It's a little microphone on your screen somewhere that has a line through it. If you click on that, it will release your voice to us. Okay, in service of time, Robin, I'll come back to you. Sherry McFarland, you're next. Unmute yourself, and I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Hi, everyone. I'm speaking to you from Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. I have to place it in a country because it's such a wonderful afternoon for me to join with all of these wonderful beings all over the planet. I just want to say, and it kind of connects with you, Yasmine, but in 2 weeks from today, I will be stepping back into my role as a middle school guidance counselor to so that's 12 and 13-year-old girls. And this work that you do is really precious to me. This is a lot of what I do in my practice. And I'm looking for ways to bring it into the school, which is a very sort of conventional world. I'm wondering if Yakov and Susanna, if you have worked with tweens at all, doing this type of journeying, and what your experience is. It sounds to me, Yasmine, that you have as well, or will be.
Well, just both, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And first of all strength to you in that really important work of being with that younger generation who are living into this unknown in a way that's very, stretching, I can imagine. So a real blessing that they have you there with them. And our experience doing this kind of work with younger people is to be really in the freedom of being ourselves, and us and being real, just being very real, not having airs and graces, and being very direct and real. We found that really helped those younger people to feel safer to be themselves. And there was a lot of sharing of story, like, I don't have to just be big and bold and brave. Actually, sometimes it's difficult life, and this is a difficulty I lived through, and just sharing the way that we have moved through some of those difficulties in our lives, so that you show there is a path, however difficult. We've had, all of us, I'm sure, very extreme difficulties in different ways. So, yeah, thank you. I know Susanna wants to add.
I'm just thinking of, just ditto to what Yakov said, and good for you, and all power and wisdom to you in this time, because this is unprecedented. And so what those tweens are going through right now and what they need, this is a big moment to feel on your feet or think on your feet and to meet this moment with them. My own experience with that age group is just I'm aware of the tenderness of that change, and often the incredible shyness about coming out, and coming out as themselves. And what I've found again and again is that actually really clear structures make it safer for them to come out and express themselves. And unity, community, allowing the individual to emerge. But I've been surprised that my image of tweens and teens, and actually the reality of when I've worked with them, just how much support is needed and how much support structure gives, and real clarity about what's being invited or not invited. But it looks like they're in good hands.
Yeah.
Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to call on one more person because we have a wonderful closing segment from Yakov and Susanna, and I have a couple announcements. But Robin, you unmuted yourself, so fire away.
Thank you. I'm calling from Aotearoa, from Christchurch, and I'm eternally grateful. I did dance work with Emily Conrad Dowd in Taupo in Aotearoa in 1988, and that began my journey to unfold the genetics challenges of Huntington's disease and connect with the resonance with Woody Guthrie from America and the story of Woody. This sacred medicine is so very important. My goddess self is just finding the beauty of my soul at a very deep level, and I am so grateful for the work that you have done today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you,
Thank
Robin.
you so much, Robin.
Bless you.
Yeah, real all strength and healing, whatever you need, darling.
Wow.
May it be always at your back. Thank you
And
so much.
Respect. Whoa.
And please blow a kiss to your Prime Minister from us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. We love her.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do that. I've been very vulnerable, and I haven't felt that there has been help for vulnerable people. So
I'm sorry. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sorry, but the voice of our Prime Minister has not been helpful for me.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I carry the goddess of the Great Spirit and trust that the eternal good will unfold.
Oh,
May
thank
it be
you.
so.
Thank you so much for speaking your truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless
Thank
you.
you.
And well done. Keeping rocking on, as we can see you are, in your own wonderful way. Wow.
With the heart of my son strongly beating as a 20-year-old with my tired body, but you have re-enlivened it. Thank you. Okay,
Wow.
I'll
All
mute
right.
myself.
Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Robin.
Perfect.
Ciao.
Inspiring closing share for this exquisite session. I'll just say two or three quick things and then turn it back over to Jakob and Susanna to close. And I know we have one more minute, so we might go a few minutes over, so please stay with us. This is the Resilience and Possibility series at Pachamama Alliance. Stay tuned for the next one in the series. We're just designing it. We're not ready to announce, but there will be one soon in September. Please go to 21gratitudes.com to learn more about Susanna and Jakob's work. On September 19th, they're doing an equinox ceremony. Susanna's starting an embodied listening course. I'm sure, as I said at the beginning, everybody should sign up for everything immediately. That's my inspiring close. Okay, over to you, Jakob and Susanna. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Lynn.
Exquisite.
Brilliant.
Yes. Just thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Pachamama Alliance. Thank you, each of you. It's very exquisite to feel this vibration going out and going in. And I just wanted to say one thing again about interoception, and that we've been tracking what happens in us with all the challenging things that we're meeting, and recognizing that in all this unknownness, there's a need for, our psyches have a need for stability somewhere. And our bodies and our body's connection with the ground and our body's presence gives us a stability that allows us to be open. And when I lose that, when I lose my connection with my body and the ground, then I cling to or I look for a stability that's more about a fixed identification or a fixed point of view to give me that stability. So I'm just in another level of recognizing the importance of somatic awareness, movement, ground, so that I and we can be open to what is coming and what is needed, and multiple points of view as we do our best to navigate this extraordinary moment with all the spiritual help we can manage to receive, because it's there. It's about, for me, it's about whether I can receive it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sweetheart. And from me, really thank you, all of you, for showing up today. Thank you to our family and at the Pachamama Alliance. Deep respect to the dream that this Pachamama Alliance, that this alliance holds. Our intention always is to support ourselves and everyone that we are in connection with, to find that resilience inside themselves so that we can be creative together about what we dream for the next generations, and to have this opportunity to share this prayer with you today is, like I said at the beginning, a real privilege. And I just want to put out a prayer that that we remember what's holding us, that relationship with what supports us, like any relationship, like the one with ourselves, like all relationships, gets stronger with attention. And so I pray that you have the time, and that just little bit by little bit, every day, just before you fall asleep, that you take a moment just to fall into that which is holding all of us as we live and as we die together, as we live and as we die, and hopefully as a new dream is born, phoenix-like, out of these ashes of change. And may it be so. And thank you. We hope to meet and see some of you on the road, maybe one day, healing willing, in person.
And just for a moment, closing our eyes and seeing ourselves, imagining ourselves once more in that big circle around the fire, as you saw. Shoulder to shoulder. Taking some breaths together. And then finding a gesture as you open your eyes to give to the camera on the screen, to say thank you and acknowledge us, the circle.
Can I read? Can I read one thing that I think is so amazing? On Facebook, a person said to you, the two of you, a couple of weeks ago, I ended up in a wheelchair after being a very active dancer and wanderer for my whole life. I've really been crying over my incapacity to dance again. And then this came, and I've been laying in my bed dancing. At the end, I had to stand up and hold on to a chair just to let my body feel the drums, even though I could barely move my feet. Even though my legs don't work anymore, I'm so grateful that you gave me the possibility to dance again.
Oh my God. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much. This recording and the chat, which is exquisite. The chat is as beautiful, almost as beautiful as the session, will be available for all to see. And thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay well, and dance.